In the ancient land of Ur, where tall buildings of stone rose under the bright sky, and merchants filled the streets with voices and trade, there lived a man named Abram. He was a man of peace and wisdom, known among his people for his kindness and faithfulness. Abram lived with his wife Sarai, and though the years had passed and they had no child, they continued to walk faithfully each day. One quiet evening, as the sun sank low and the sky turned gold and crimson, Abram lifted his eyes toward the heavens. The world seemed still, and in that moment the voice of the Lord came to him. "Get out of your country, from your family and from your father's house, to a land that I will show you." Abram stood in awe, listening as the voice continued. "I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing." The promise filled Abram's heart with wonder. "I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." Abram returned to his tent where Sarai was preparing the evening meal. His face carried both amazement and quiet determination. "Sarai, the Lord has spoken to me." She looked at him carefully. "What has he said?" "He has called us to leave this land, our home, our people, and go to a land he will show us." Sarai was silent for a moment, thinking about the journey and the unknown road ahead. "Did the Lord promise anything to you?" Abram nodded slowly. "He said he will make of us a great nation, and that through us all families of the earth will be blessed." Sarai gazed toward the darkening sky outside the tent. "If the Lord has spoken, then we will follow him." Abram smiled gently, strengthened by her faith. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken to him. He was 75 years old when he left Haran. With him went Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son. They gathered their servants, their flocks, and all the possessions they had gained. Lot walked beside Abram as their caravan moved across the open land. "Uncle Abram," Lot said, "do you know where we are going?" Abram looked ahead at the endless hills. "The Lord will show us the land. We will trust him, step by step." Their journey was long, passing through valleys, rivers, and wide plains under the great sky. At last they came to the land of Canaan. When Abram arrived at a place called Shechem, near the great tree of Moreh, the Lord appeared to him once more. "To your descendants I will give this land." Abram knelt and looked across the hills and fields stretching into the distance. The promise of God filled his heart with gratitude. He gathered stones and built an altar there to the Lord, who had appeared to him. Lot watched as Abram placed the final stone. "Why do you build this altar, Uncle?" Abram answered softly, "So we will always remember that the Lord has led us here." From there, Abram moved toward the hills east of Bethel. He pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. Again, Abram built an altar to the Lord, and there he called upon the name of the Lord. Sarai stood beside him, looking at the growing camp, the flocks grazing peacefully in the fields. "The Lord truly guides our steps," she said. Abram lifted his eyes toward the heavens once more. "Yes, wherever he leads, we will follow." And so Abram journeyed on, traveling south through the land, trusting the promise of the Lord who had called him. Through faith he walked into the unknown, carrying with him a promise that would one day bless the entire world.